Hey, what's up everybody? This is Kimberly from the band Perry, and you're watching my most requested live Ask Anything chat. We have a new song called The Good Life, and I wanted to take just a second to say thank you so much to Romeo and iHeartRadio for having us on the show tonight. All right, let's get to some of these questions. I've looked through a few of these. They're amazing. Kelly from Birmingham, Alabama. Hometown state. I grew up in Mobile. Kelly, you asked, what does the line LA mistake maker mean in Night Swim? Funny story. LA mistake maker, that was actually the first three words that came out of my mouth when we started to write Night Swim. Reed and Neil and I were on a writing retreat in Palm Springs, California, and we were spending a lot of that particular day in the pool because, things get more clear creatively in the water. And we were listening to 90s music and drinking Casamigos. And finally we came inside and they had this little white piano at this Airbnb that we were staying in. And so we all huddled around it. I started playing piano, sort of singing this melody, and the first words that came out were LA mistake maker, take a break, try again later. And the original idea was really about, this summer romance that happened in LA, and ultimately we didn't stay together, LA mistake makers. It ended up becoming a better descriptive lyric, and so we put it into the second verse and really let it just be an adjective for the romance, the romantic interest, if you will, that I'm singing to in Night Swim. So the second verse now goes, LA mistake maker, Biscayne pastel papers, which I think is a really gorgeous lyric. Great question though. Took me a second to figure out exactly what we were trying to say with it too. Mackenzie from Jonesboro, Tennessee. Where did you work before you started doing music? So, kind of a funny story. The only job that Reed, Neil, and I have ever had was in the band Perry, because the first show that we ever played, Neil was 8 years old, Reed was 10, and I was 15. So we were really, really young when we got started, and we dedicated all of our time after school, all of our time on the weekends to really learning music, learning our craft, learning how to write songs, figuring out our instruments, and that's been our job ever since. So really good question. Will from, I hope I'm not going to butcher this, it's either Statham, Georgia or Statham, Georgia. Will, you asked, have all of you ever been vocally trained, or are you self-taught? A little bit of both. We all three took vocal lessons when we were kids. I started training with one of my favorite human beings on planet Earth. Her name is Mama Jan Smith. She's from Atlanta, Georgia. I met her when I was 17, and she's been an incredible mentor of mine, not only as a vocal coach, but also as a woman, and a woman in music, a woman in life. But Mama Jan's like a big personality. And so I remember the first time that I ever met her, she had this studio in Atlanta, and she would get you to audition by singing Happy Birthday. And so I remember singing Happy Birthday. I was so nervous. I was so shy at 17. And she's a very strong personality. And so I remember her saying to me, well, pretty much you're the most basic singer that I've ever heard, but I think that you've got some soul somewhere deep inside, and I'm going to pull that out of you. And Mama Jan did that. She introduced me to some of my favorite female singers, everybody from Beth Hart to Joan Osborne. She reintroduced me to Sheryl Crow in that moment, and walked me through all of her albums. So she's been a huge impact in my life as a singer and as a creative, but also all those women I just mentioned, they don't even know that they helped me learn how to sing. But I remember trying to mimic all of the vocal licks and the vocal tricks that they were doing in all of their music. I was convinced from about the age of 12 to 22 that I was going to be Celine Dion. I am not her, but I still really, really love her voice, and I tried to pick up as many of her stylings as I could and try to incorporate them into my own vocal palette. All right. Nadine from Lexington, Kentucky. What's up, Nadine? Thanks for your question. You said, or asked, are you so close to any country artist that started out about the same time as you? I liked this question because it reminded me of something that happened just a couple weeks ago. Actually, same riding trip out in Palm Springs. I was in the pool again, and I remember it was in the middle of the afternoon. Got out to check my phone, and I had a video that had been texted to me from Bryan, who, by the way, Luke was one of the first artists that we got to go on tour with, and it was such a good time. But anyway, so he sent me this video, and I was like, what is this? And so opened it up, and it was Luke and his family. They were on a boat, they were boating, and he was singing a Katy Perry song, like at the top of his lungs, with full heart. And then he like sort of turned his iPhone around to show that like the Katy song was playing on the radio. I clearly like put together that he intended to send this video to Katy Perry, not Kimberly Perry, but I was super excited to get it. And then also I noticed there was another number that was on the text thread with mine, and it turns out it was Orlando Bloom's. So he was trying to send it to Katy in Orlando. It hit my text inbox instead. It was really funny. I just kind of wrote them both back. I was like, guys, I'm not sure that this was intended for me, but hello to everybody, and please tell Katy that I love her. I'm sure she's like a cousin or something, right? Like all of us Perrys were somehow related. But I will tell you, it was really cool to hear from Luke, but it was also super crazy, like Twilight Zone, to be like, wow, my Lord of the Rings fangirl self is dying that Legolas is on this thread right now. So I hit everybody back. I was like, guys, I think you meant this for Katy, not Kimberly, but super happy to meet everybody. And they LOL'd, they sent some emojis, and then the two of them just kept talking on the thread. And I sort of felt like it was the best, I don't know, eavesdropping experience I've ever had. They didn't talk too long. Eventually, they must have clearly started another text thread and the conversation ended, but it was hilarious. Parker from Branford, Connecticut. You asked me, what are your guys' favorite desserts? Well, I am flying solo on this Q&A tonight, but I think I probably could make a good educated guess about Reed Neal's favorite dessert, but we'll start with mine. I love macaron. I call them macaron. I think the macaron cookies, they're a French pastry cookie, and they make them in all flavors with all sorts of fillings, and I'm obsessed with all of them. My favorite bakery that makes these cookies, it's Bottega Louie here in Los Angeles. If you live here, go to Bottega Louie. If you're traveling here, go to Bottega Louie. If you're not doing either of those, go to their website and order the macaron cookies. I think they come in like orders of 150,000. Get all 150,000, they're amazing. Reed's favorite sweet thing is probably, I would say Reese's Pieces. Not Reese's Buttercups, actually the Reese's Pieces. And Neal's, I probably know better what Neal doesn't like versus what his favorite is. I know that he hates birthday cake and he hates watermelon, but he actually is addicted to vanilla ice cream. That would be his favorite dessert, and I've seen him eat a gallon in one sitting. True story. Love it. Okay, I like this question. This one was from Mary from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Mary, you asked me who in the group brought up the idea of everybody going blonde. Me, that was my genius idea, a stroke, light bulb, inspiration, epiphany. for a long time, I really wanted, because we're two brothers and a sister, I wanted us to, for creative reasons, all have the same color hair. Because I was like, we're family, wouldn't it be so cool to like be united by our locks? And so basically my natural color hair would be the color of my eyebrows. So it's a lot darker, but I'm convinced that I was born to be blonde and have been since I was about 12 years old when my hair started to get darker. I put highlights in. So for a second, because Reed Neal had dark hair, I was like, all right, I'm gonna come try the brunette side of life. This should be my more authentic color in reality anyway. So I did it and I really liked it for a second, but I missed the blonde. And so I was like, boys, I'm headed back to the blonde side and I would love for you to come with me. So they graciously entertained my wishes and went platinum, and we all really, really love it. I think it's sick, and I hope you guys like it too. I can't even like imagine them with their brown hair anymore, which is hilarious. Jenny from San Diego, California, you asked me, where do you display your Grammy Awards? That's a fantastic question. I know that Reed and Neal both have mantles in their places. Their Grammys are on their mantle. Mine is actually, this is so awful. Like, I need to find an actual more beautiful place for it. Mine is in a fireproof safe, because I'm just like, have this fear that there's gonna be a fire and I'm gonna lose my Grammy. But I actually don't know if they're flammable, because I'm not 100% sure about what the materials are. Either way, life is too short and I need to have it displayed somewhere more prominent. I am so proud of that Grammy. All right, we're gonna do one more. Let's see. Okay, I like this one. This is from Morgan from New Orleans, Louisiana. Morgan, you asked, what do you look forward to in your life as you grow older? This is a question I've been thinking a lot about recently. There's a few things I love about the idea of growing older. I think every year that I celebrate a birthday, I always sort of think back over the memories of the previous year, but also like, how am I different now than I was 12 months ago? And there's always like a long list of the things that I've either learned, or the ways that I've matured, or the things that I'm figuring out about myself. And one of the things that I like about getting older is the collective wisdom that you get from so many experiences in your life. And I really love from that. I feel like that helps me learn, and it just feels like such a cool way to like evolve in your life. But the other thing I love is to really learn the art of like balancing the new things that I learn with who I am at my core and who I've always been. It's like bringing your full self with you as you progress through life. I don't know, that felt like a very zen answer, but it's just one thing that I've thought a lot about, and it's the one thing that I love about getting older. I also love like all the relationships that just seem to get sweeter and sweeter with time, whether it's friends or family. It's just so cool to grow together. Thank you guys so much for hanging out tonight. Again, this is Kimberly with the band Perry. This is my exclusive Ask Me Anything chat with Most Requested Live. Thank you again so much, Romeo and iHeartRadio, for all your support of the band Perry. You guys check out The Good Life. Check out our other new song called Night Swim. The three of us are headed on tour October, November. Tickets are on sale now at thebandperry.com. We would love to sing with you night after night. Thanks so much for the hangout, and I'll talk to you guys soon.